The FT991 is a very interesting rig. Has a lot of features for a relatively small size. I'm going to start it up by clearing the all of the settings by holding in the menu startup button and power on. All right, so now we have the screen here that tells us different things. If I hit the setup menu, we go to a list of different things here. And if you go in the manual, this handy dandy Yaesu manual, on page, there's a menu mode page here. It's page 121 through 123, I believe, and at 124 you get the menu mode with a little bit of information as to what it's really telling you. That's page 124 and following. Very good reference material to look at, but let's start out at the first thing on the list here. See what that does for us. There are 154 settings in this thing, as you can see here. AGC fast delay, I believe they mean decay there. I have it set for 300 milliseconds. I have it set for about twice that for the mid delay on item 2 here. And 3 seconds for the slow delay or decay. If I want to change that to say, I just highlight it like that. Run this up, say let's go to, I don't know. Let's go to 4,000 milliseconds or 4 seconds. Hit enter. All right, go to the next item here is you want the home function to be scope, or do you want it to be function? I leave it on scope. My call indicator, we have a selection between 1 second and 5 seconds there, or off. I'll leave it at 2 seconds. Display color, select that. We are blue up here now. We can go to, oh wait, I goofed up here. Let's go back here. Now this is the scope mode on this thing, so I'll hit menu setup again. All right, let's go down to this one. You see the blue outlines around the thing here, and that's indicating that I can change things. So blue, gray, green, orange, purple, red, sky blue. I think that's it. I like the blue. I'll leave it there. Then dimmer LED, if you look over on this side, you'll see that it's on 2 right now. I'll hit select. It's on 2. You put it on 1, it's more dimmer. On 2, it's brighter. And I like it a little brighter. Just depends on, if you're into mobile, you might want it at night especially, want it dimmer. Hard to say. Anyway, we'll leave it on 2. The TFT is this screen. Select again. You can brighten it up way up or nip it down way down depending on what you're doing. I have it at a compromised position here of about 7 or 8. Alright. Varmeter peak hold, you see the bouncing around here. Well, right now it's off. So I'll hit select and I'll put that at 2. Enter. You notice that there's a peak display there, and it holds for 2 seconds. So it'll give you updates of the peak level every 2 seconds. I'm not sure I like that, so I'm going to hit select again here and go to 1 second. Yeah, that's a little better, I think, is 1 second. You can adjust that as you wish. DVS-RX output level. We're going to bypass that for the moment. Same thing with the transmit. Haven't figured out what those do, to tell you the truth. Keyer and all this stuff is CW stuff. I'll just leave that for the moment. Those of you who are into CW probably know that better than me. As this radio comes, the noise blanker bandwidth is, oops. Highlight the one you want, Jim. Set to 3 milliseconds. It can be 10 milliseconds. It can be as little as 1 millisecond. 3 seems to be a real reasonable level. Rejection is 30 dB as it comes from the factory, but of course the higher that rejection is, the higher the distortion will be on your radio when the noise blanker's on. I normally put that at 10, just so you know. It's 10, 30, or 50 dB. The noise blanker level is set to 5 by the factory. You can set it up to 10, I believe, and down to 0. I'd say 2 or 3 would be a good number. But, you know, play around with it to your liking. Beep level. That's this beep that we're hearing here. I normally set that down to about 20. And of course you can, whoops, I goofed up there. Beep level, select it, nope. Highlight the one you want, Jim. Alright, you can crank this up to 100 and it's fairly loud if you do that. If you're mobile, you might want to do that. But I keep it down low. Maybe 30. Time zone is set to 0. That's GMT, and it's either +5, +8, +2, whatever your particular delta is from GMT. If you want local time, you see the time up here. So if I take this and I set it to +1, you'll see this changes. And I set it back to 0. Oh, really? That didn't work. Interesting. Huh. I guess I don't understand how that one works, or how it's supposed to work. GPS or 232 here. GPS is for a GPS receiver to give this information to the unit here. 232 is for 232 control purposes on a 232 connector that's on the back. I'll leave it on GPS. Not using either, so. The 232 rate is set here. I usually use 9600 baud. That's timeout. Don't ask me. Transmit timeout is what that is. It's nominally 10 milliseconds, but you have a range here up to 3 seconds or 10 milliseconds, 100,000, etc. Let's leave it at 10. For the moment, we'll stop here. I've done items 1 through 30, and I'm going to do 31 through 60 next. So we'll do this in several segments to keep it at 10 minutes or so.